Hi, this is Tammy Bernard, UF Health Arts and Medicine Integrative Therapies practitioner. Today I'm in the UF Health Shands Sanctuary of Silence, and I would like to invite you to participate in about a 15-minute seated meditative movement practice. This practice can support you in releasing tension and anxiety in the body and support a calming of the mind. So coming into a comfortable seated posture, and we'll just begin with a moment of centering, allowing your attention to turn inward, perhaps softening the gaze or closing the eyes, and just beginning to tune into the body, tuning into places in the body where you might begin to release and relax any tension, perhaps in the buttock, any tension in the thighs, noticing the feet on the ground, and inviting for the possibility of feeling a bit more rooted and a bit more grounded from everything beneath the belly button, just releasing and relaxing into the support beneath you. And then taking a moment and connecting with the breath, feeling the gentle breeze of the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. And then feeling also the sit bones pressing into the support beneath you. And on your next in-breath, just beginning to gently lift and lengthen through the spine. Almost like there's a gentle lengthening through the crown of the head. And then coming back to the breath, seeing if on your next exhalation you can release any tension in the shoulders, any tension in the hinge of the jaw. And with a soft gaze, we'll just begin by coming into a seated mountain posture. So releasing the hands to either side of you, turning the palms out. Taking a moment here, coming home to the breath. Again, noticing the body. Simply sitting, simply being breathed, feeling this uprightness through the spine as we begin to invite movement in. On your next in-breath, just allowing the arms to extend up with the inhalation, arms rising. And as you exhale, arms almost like the wings of a bird in flight, just releasing the arms back down. And we'll do this 2 more times. So on your in-breath, taking in an inhalation, arms extending. And on your out-breath, releasing, relaxing. We'll do this 1 more time. Inhaling. And exhaling. Coming back to the seated mountain posture. We'll begin to move into different movements of the spine. So on an in-breath, we're going to let the arms rise up as we go into a lateral stretch, allowing that left hand to hold onto the right hand, turning that palm up. And as you exhale, just gently leaning over to the left, perhaps lifting the gaze, breathing into the side body. Rising up on an in-breath. We're going to exhale the palms right down to the center of the chest, interlacing the fingers. On an in-breath, we're going to press out, pulling the belly button in on an exhalation here, opening the upper back. On your next inhalation, coming into a gentle extended spine, lifting the gaze slightly. Exhaling, arms floating back down alongside the body. 1 more time, inhaling, arms rising. Letting that right hand hold on to the left wrist. And this time we're gently going to lean over to the right, lifting the gaze. Breathing into the ribs. Coming back up on your in-breath. Again, exhaling palms down the midline. Inhale as you press out. Exhale, pulling the belly button in. On your next in-breath, rising back up. Exhaling, coming back to the seated mountain and letting the hands rest on the thighs. And noticing any echo of sensation, noticing the shoulders, noticing the arms left and right. Coming back to the breath again and again. So in this practice, we allow the breath to be the home base. The breath is portable and a resource that we can learn to return to again and again to get our bearings. So taking a few mindful breaths through the nostrils, noticing perhaps where the body is opening with the inhalation and where the body is releasing with the exhalation. As we go into a seated spinal rotation, again, honoring any limits, if you have any osteoporosis or any conditions of the spine, making this practice exactly what you need in this moment. So we'll let the left hand come to the right thigh, and we'll take the right hand to the side of the chair. As we inhale, that sense of uplift through the spine. As you exhale, like you're slightly gazing over that right shoulder. And breathing fully here, as much as that's available, releasing the shoulders, each in-breath, as if you're breathing up the length of the spine, lifting and lengthening. Taking a few more breaths here. We're going to leave that left hand right where it is as we exhale, right hand crossing over left. We're going to inhale as we hinge forward. As we exhale, curling the tailbone, coming into what we call seated cat, belly button to spine. Coming back up on your in-breath. As you exhale, gently rotating to the left. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, just a gentle rotation. Opening to breath. And imagining almost like a washcloth that's gently getting wrung out. Each in-breath a lifting, and each out-breath just a softening. Taking a few more breaths here. Leaving that right hand where it is as you exhale, left hand crossing over right. One more time, we're going to inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, coming into that seated cat. On an in-breath, we're going to come back to seated mountain where we began. And noticing the effects. And then sometimes, when tension builds up in the shoulders, we can just tune into that. So beginning to rotate the shoulders, opening to breath, almost imagining the breath and the movement, supporting a releasing and a relaxing of any tension here. So we'll do a few shoulder shrugs with sounding sighs, which can stimulate the relaxation response in the body. So we're just going to inhale the shoulders up. And as you exhale, releasing with a sigh and letting them go. And again, on your in-breath, a gentle scrunching and holding. And as you exhale, letting go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, scrunching and holding. And exhale, letting go. Hands resting on the thighs, taking a moment, recentering, tuning in to the inner landscape of sensation, coming home to the breath. So again, the breath is a reliable place that you can return to throughout your day, coming home to yourself one breath at a time. Feeling again the sit bones, we're going to get into releasing some tension perhaps in the head and neck. So on an in-breath, like you're zippering up and lengthening through the spine, a gentle uplift, shoulders are relaxed. As you exhale, you're just going to release that right ear towards the right shoulder. And just taking that left hand onto the chest. And taking a few breaths, seeing if you can soften anywhere on the corridor of the neck. Seeing if you can feel the contact of your own touch. See if you can feel the hand gently surfing the breath as it flows into and out of the body. On your in-breath, we're going to let the head come back up, releasing here. Taking another breath as you exhale, just taking a little bow, a little dropping of the chin, feeling the breath along the corridor of the back of the neck. Coming back up on your in-breath. This time dropping that left ear towards that left shoulder. Taking that right hand up on the body. Tuning into sensation, feeling the stretch like you're smoothing away any tension in the neck with each exhalation. Feeling the rising and falling of the breath. Feeling the beating of your heart. Allowing the head to return on an in-breath. Releasing that hand. And just follow up here with just your own sense of the body's wisdom and its urge to move. So maybe you want to begin to rotate or release the chin. Allowing the hands to come back, resting on the thighs. And we'll conclude with a practice of self-compassion. So I just invite you at this point to just let a hand rest on the belly and a hand rest on the chest. And I invite you to just feel the wave of the breath, seeing if you can soften in the belly like you're pouring the breath in and feeling it rising up through to the hand on the chest. As you exhale, releasing the breath from top to middle to bottom. Each inhalation like a wave, like you're pouring the breath in like water in a glass. Each exhalation, releasing, relaxing. Taking about 3 more full body breaths. Increasing our oxygenation can support a calming of the mind, can support our capacity for being more present in the body. And then if you choose, just letting the hand on the belly perhaps rest on the hand on the chest and tuning into the beating of the heart. And perhaps offering yourself, this emotional heart, a word of kindness. And releasing the hands when you're ready. Allowing the eyes to softly open if they've been closed. And noticing how you feel now. And thank you for taking this time to support your own self-care, which can only ripple out to support everyone else.